I remember reading this thing when Michelle and I were on Dawson's Creek. Remember, we both were like on this like, she's like, we have to eat this food for our skin. And it was like, it was just like the amount of things that, oh my God, I got a colonic because of her last week.
Oh my God. She encouraged you to get a colonic?
She was like, Busy, are you getting colonics? I'm like, no. And she's like, I hadn't either. And now we have to do it.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
Me too. I'm recording too. When are we going to have Jen on as a guest? We have to have Jen on.
Yeah, 100%.
Because Severance is getting so good. But I think that there's some stuff with her character later in the season. So maybe we wait until that happens.
Okay. We're talking about the show Severance. We're talking about Busy's friend, Jen Tulloch, who you might know from Instagram as Surefine OK. But yeah, let's have her. I have to admit, I know this is annoying, but I was saving up to start Severance because I wanted a couple episodes to,
Well, this is not for nothing. I've only watched the first.
Okay.
So you and I
don't
both
feel so bad. I know
don't feel
you're
bad.
supposed to watch it like when it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how, but I also just need like a couple episodes. Like I don't know. In my life right now, I can't just watch one episode of something because then I forget about it and I never go back to it. And I know it can be the best thing in the world, the most compelling thing in the world. And like 1 week later is too much time for my brain anymore. And I'm just like, it's a me problem. And I'm part of the problem.
Listen, we're all having some shoes. Is that a good abbreviation for issues? We're all having some shoes.
Because we do all have shoes and we need shoes.
Yeah.
But
we
also,
got shoes.
We're all having shoes.
We're dealing with some shoes. The craziest thing just happened.
What happened?
It's not the craziest thing that's ever happened. But Shane was just leaving the house and she's like, oh, this was just on the doorstep, like a delivery from 1-800-Flowers or something.
Aww.
And I was like, what is that? Oh my gosh, it's like a bag and it's berries. It's like a berry delivery. Okay. And then I look at the address. Not only is it not my address, it's like not even close.
Wow.
It's like definitely in the same vicinity, but like streets away, not like a number that would match. Do you know what I'm saying? Like not even like my house number, but just on a different street. Like literally no part of it belongs to me. And
that is so weird.
I'm just like, what am I supposed to do now with this berry delivery for this woman who lives, 15 minutes away from me? Anyway, Shane is calling the 1-800-Flowers. Maybe they had a delivery for me.
Maybe they did, and the person put down one thing. And the weirdest thing I ever had happen, it wasn't weird, but this is an appropriate story for the moment. When we first moved to Los Angeles, we lived in this neighborhood called Mount Washington, Glassell Park. If you're in Mount Washington, it's right in the name. It's a mountain. And so we lived kind of high up this mountain. Lincoln was in such good shape from walking home from school every day because it was like a legit mountain climb. Anyway, I had ordered these chairs from a major retailer that sends things via delivery service. I'm sure you know the one. And they didn't come, and I checked in and I was like, hey, where's my chairs? Like, we have no chairs to sit at our table. And they were like, they were delivered and, we have proof of delivery. And they send the picture. And I'm like, yeah, that's not my house. That's not the place I live. And they're like, well, that person accepted them. And I'm like, did they accept them or did you whatever? So it's like a mix up. So I'm like, what's going to happen? And they're like, fine, we'll cancel that order. We'll send you more chairs. And I was like, okay, thank you for, giving me the runaround. But then like a few days later, this guy gets in touch with me. I think he just like pulled up to the house. And I was like, oh, hi, who are you? How can I help you? And he was like, I'm so sorry. I live in another part of the neighborhood, like lower down the hill. And I've been busy with work, but I meant to tell you that I got a package from you, but I just wanted to like stop by because it's a big package. And I was like, oh, it's these chairs. And I was like, oh, okay, they must have delivered them to you by mistake. And he was like, no, it's not a mistake. This person who delivers in this neighborhood just puts everyone's packages at my house. Like I get like 86 packages a week. Like the person just refuses to go to anyone else. He was like, so a great deal of my time and why I was exhausted by this and it took me several days to come to you is because like this is all I do is drive around and tell people that I have packages for them and like re-deliver their packages.
Wait,
because,
what?
Yeah.
How
he
is
was
that
just-
a thing? Because he was like at the bottom of the hill or something?
Yeah, and I guess the driver was just like this particular driver. Some of these drivers are very intrepid, and I see them doing wild maneuvers out on the roads to get to very tricky places. But there's one particular driver that was like assigned to our neighborhood was like, fuck that, I'm just leaving it at this guy's everything. Just unload a whole truck at his house every day.
Also, it's like, you know what? He's like, I'm not getting paid enough for this shit.
Exactly. It's not worth it. It's not worth risking my life. I'm under time pressure. This man seems nice and willing to help me with my work.
I mean, he obviously is doing so. I mean, that is, but that
Oh
is
my
that is
God.
wild. I do have to say that's wild.
I felt so bad for that man. He seemed so beleaguered and exhausted. And I just was
Yeah,
like,
wouldn't you
"Ugh."
be?
Yeah, 100%. I hope he got to like keep some of the extra stuff at some point. But even that, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
No, it's not worth it.
But every once in a while, you'll hear like some story of like some person just throwing their whole contents of their delivery truck like into a canyon or whatever, and then
Wait, did we talk about this on the podcast about when you return things from Amazon?
No,
Did we
I
talk
don't
about
think
this
so.
YouTube video that I watched with Cricket?
No,
Like, guys, do you know that like 90% of the time when you return things from Amazon, it just goes to this weird warehouse and then they like it never goes back. No one else ever gets it, basically.
oh right, they pack it up on.
Did we talk
pallets.
about this?
No,
I
but
feel
I've
like we
seen the
did.
videos.
Did we not?
I don't know who knows. Did I watch 1,000 videos of it, even though they're all the same?
Yeah.
Yes, so
Well,
clearly.
But one of Cricket and Birdie's like favorite guys. Oh my God, why am I blanking on his name? Because it's too much information in my head. I can't have any more.
They have too many favorite guys,
There's,
and you know too
you know
many
what?
guys.
It's too many people. It's too many people, and my brain is not. I can't. It's not. I'm not equipped. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah.
not happening.
As long as you remember my name, that like right
Caissie,
now,
St. Ange,
that's all-
right now.
There you go.
He's like, I love him. He's funny. He's like, what up, Greg? He calls his fans are called like Greg. Guys, this is what happens when you watch YouTubes with your children, which I highly recommend if you have children who are like, especially younger children, because
Yeah.
then you can get to them before they're red pilled by Andrew Tate. YouTuber who calls fans Greg, I guess, or Greg, or fans are called Greg. Oh yeah, Danny Gonzalez. Okay, great.
Okay,
great.
there we
great.
go. Woo.
hmm Greg is the name of Danny Gonzalez's fan base on YouTube. Okay. Anyway, Danny Gonzalez did a vid where he had seen those palette videos.
Yeah.
So basically, guys, if I haven't talked about this on the podcast, I don't fucking know. The things that you return from, if you buy things on Amazon, this is why we have to like divorce ourselves from Amazon, not just because Jeff Bezos, fuck you, but also because it's just so bad for the environment, because that stuff that you buy on Amazon, if you then return it, like 95% of the time, it goes to these weird warehouses, these return warehouses, where the items get sort of just like put in these pallets, and they either get put in literal landfills
Right.
or burned. They're not recycled. They're not like sent back to the companies. It's like they figured out that the most cost efficient way for them to deal with this is to just take them and just bury them or something. And
Right.
then people can go and buy the pallets, but it's like a blind bag. You don't know what you're getting.
Right. Yeah.
Like when you buy like someone's storage unit or something like that.
right.
And so there are all these YouTube videos of people or TikToks of like, I made $13,000 in, selling things from this palette. And so Danny Gonzalez was like, I'm going to see if this is real. And he tried to do it. And it was just a disaster and so impossible. I mean, he like technically did make his money back, but then he realized that he had to pay for them to deliver it. And so he like didn't make his money back.
Oh.
And it wasn't even like, it was just not that much money that he needed to make back. But he like tried he tried like Facebook Marketplace. He tried, listing things on whatever, all the different places.
Right.
And then he had a fucking garage sale. Like he was just trying to get rid of this stuff. His wife was like, get it out of the house. And so he was, his video was just about how it's like all a scam, that
Right.
people are saying that they're making all this money selling the things from pallets. Why did I bring this up?
Because we were talking about like missed deliveries and,
I don't know where these berries are going to go, but maybe into my stomach. they might be returned to this sender in my stomach.
well, it would be a shame for them to go to waste.
They're not going to waste. I mean, I feel bad for Ellen or whatever her name is. But at the same time, not my pig, not my problem.
Yeah.
Like I'm here just doing the best I can here. Maybe she has my flowers or whatever.
That's
from
really it.
An unknown sender.
Also, at that same Mount Washington house, I got a delivery of like Harry and David pears or something for a holiday delivery, but it was for the prior tenant. And I tried so hard to track the people down, but it was like a ticking clock, like your berries, because like pears only last for so long.
Yes.
And I was just like, oh my God. And this is like a holiday gift. And I felt so bad. And then by the time I finally tracked down the person, they were like, oh, yeah. It was like a business associate. And they were like, I told them my new address. They called to get my new address. And then they sent it to my old address anyway. And they were like, this is like a gift that they send every year or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, do you want to like meet up or do you want to come pick them up or whatever? And then they were like, can you look in the box and see what it is? And I was like, it's pears. And they were like, no, like oranges or anything like that. And I was like, no. And then they were like, just keep them.
Oh my God.
They just were like, if it was oranges, I might meet up with you. But pears, keep it.
Oh my God.
So maybe
that's
Ellen
really
doesn't
funny.
even like berries,
I was at this party and I was talking to this guy that I know, and he was saying that somebody that he worked with for like had gifted him like a Starbucks gift card.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that guy really doesn't know you. Like you don't drink coffee and like you're the type of person that would never go to Starbucks. Like I just know this guy enough to know that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I thought it was really weird too, but like, whatever, it's fine. And he's like, do your kids like Starbucks? And I was like, actually, Birdie does kind of like Starbucks. He's like, do you just want it? And I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. I'll give it to her. That's sure. Thank you. That's nice. He's like, well, I don't know how much is on it. This is like this was like a thank you thing or whatever that he had gotten. And I was like, well, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
It was $10. And he was like, that's so fucking rude. That's like barely a drink. I was like, I know. That is barely a drink at Starbucks. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's not.
Oh my God.
But it was really funny.
God. Matt
Also-
joined this Panera, it's Panera. He joined this thing called the Sips Club, which is like you go in and you pay like a monthly fee. And I think it was like had an introductory rate of like $5 a month or whatever. And you can get
Talk to me about these. I'm obsessed because I literally was holding up mine that I'm on. I have one.
You can get unlimited drinks, any drinks that they serve for $5 a month. And like if you stay, if you go in and you just give your phone number. There's no like membership card or whatever.
Mhm.
And I think it goes up after the introductory period, by the way. So I think it goes up to like $12 or $14 possibly per month. But if you go in and you get a coffee, you give your phone number and then they go, Matt, and you're like, yeah. And then they give you a cup for your coffee. If you stay there, you can get as many refills of coffee as you want till you give yourself a heart attack. If you leave, if you get your coffee to go and you leave, you're still allowed to come back like 2.5 hours later to get another drink. So you could go every 2.5 hours throughout the live long day, and you can go every day. But it's so funny because Matt is obsessed with whether he's getting his money's worth, whether he's like, and I'm like, if for $5 a month you get one coffee and you've already like beat the system. So even if you just go twice, you've got like 100% return on your investment, I feel like. So anyway, it's so funny because every time he gets a coffee from his Panera Sips Club, he's like, this is $15 saved this month, $20 saved.
So I don't know how this happened, but when I don't know, there's this coffee place in New York called Blank Street, and they have like 11 locations, okay? Or maybe more than 11 locations, but they're like kind of all over Manhattan.
Yeah.
And there's some in Brooklyn. And when there's one very close to my home, basically. Yeah. And so when they first opened and I went in there was a thing that was like, get the app, become a regular. And I love a like rewards program.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like a rewards program? And so I got the thing, and there was I got the app, and then there was like a part that was like, do you want to become a regular? And I just clicked it. And it gave me like 3 options. And it's like, pay $17 a week, pay this much, whatever. So I pay $17 a week. I get every drink free every 2 hours. But
okay.
Like, that's any drink, like lattes or whatever. You know what I mean? Like coffee drinks in New York are not cheap.
Right.
And then I get 20% off everything else. So to date, I have saved $700.
Whoa.
I know. But then the craziest thing, it was like just because they were just opening, I think, because then I've like told people about it and they're like, I got the app. I'm not a regular. And it's not, guys, because I'm famous. It literally was like, I think they had like a certain number that they were going to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Because it can't be like that financially
advantageous.
advantageous for them. Because essentially, if you think about it, well, their coffee drinks, hold on, let's look. My coffee drink that I get is mirror.
Very Billie Eilish of you.
My coffee drink is $5.45.
Right.
Every day, which times 7 equals $38
a week.
So then minus 17, and that's $21.15 that I'm spending. So wait, divided by 7 is, so I'm paying $3 a coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Is that math right? I don't know.
I don't think your math is right. Because it's, well, maybe your math is right. Listen, you're getting a bargain.
Regardless,
that's the point.
it's a deal.
It's a deal. And
It's
everybody,
a deal.
that's why rewards programs work. And like coffee, I mean, I know costs have gone up, but like wages sure haven't gone up. So like I have to think that it has like such a high profit margin, coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe they're just hoping that you'll still pay 80% for like a croissant or whatever while you're in there, a cookie, what have you,
I do pay 80% on that croissant. I'm not going to lie.
So
I do it sometimes.
That's what I think is they're hoping to get you in there with the juice that you're addicted to, coffee.
I love that juice. But then here's a thing that happened. This
What?
other coffee place opened in the West Village. Well, it had been opened. But I never was going there because I was just drinking my free blank Street.
Yeah.
But then Jen was like, it's the best coffee. You have to come with me. And I went, and it really is the best coffee.
Oh,
And so
man.
now I really struggle because some days I just want that really, really good coffee. And then
Yeah.
now I'm drinking 2 coffees a day anyway. So I'm like, I can justify for myself that I pay full price for 1 coffee and 1 coffee I don't pay full price for.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
No. Yeah,
But
Susie
still-
Orman would not like this.
No, it's not a good plan. I know. It's not. I know. Guys, I get it. But here's the thing, the coffee's worth it. It's so good.
You have
Okay.
you had to make a rule that like this is coffee that you only get when you go with Jen or something. It's Jen specific coffee.
Rude. Okay, fine. I will. Naked Wines.
You know what I love so much about Naked Wines is
Everything?
that I don't know anything about wine. It's an area where I am not educated. And my son and my husband know a ton about wine, and they are so impressed every time I get a delivery from Naked Wines. And I'm like, the gag is I don't know anything about it. It's just that you can't go wrong with
Well,
Naked Wines.
it's kind of incredible because Naked Wines, guys, for those of you who are unfamiliar, let us let you in on a little Naked Wines secret. Naked Wines connects winemakers and wine drinkers directly, allowing for vineyard to your door delivery at up to 60% off what you would pay in store. They cut out the traditional retail middlemen, costs, and markups, and winemakers can pass on those savings to you without skimping on quality. But the best thing about it is they really have the greatest independent winemakers, and it's like award-winning wines delivered straight to your door. And they really make it easy. They take the guesswork out of it for you. So if you're not a wine expert, they're like, we got you.
Right.
We
And I'm learning.
got you.
Yeah.
Right. And you're
I'm lear-
learning.
Yeah, I'm learning a
And-
ton. We had this Drummer Sonoma whiskey barrel Cabernet Sauvignon, and everyone was really knocked out by it. Such a nice bottle of wine. I wanted it to last forever because everyone was having so much fun with it. So good, but every single bottle we've gotten from them is amazing.
Also, Naked Wine's been around for over 15 years and funds over 90 independent winemakers around the world. No commitments or membership fees. You can enjoy Naked Wine hassle-free, and you can pause or cancel anytime. So if you have like a trip coming up or you don't need, you haven't had your 6 bottles that month or whatever, you can just pause it and then you can enjoy Naked Wines whenever.
If you like white wine and someone in your house likes red wine, you can split the box any which way. You get to choose. So it's not like you're not stuck with all one thing 1 month.
Yes. Also, this is the best part, truly. You can use our code BEST for the code and the password at nakedwines.com. And you're going to get this deal. It's an insane deal. 6 bottles of wine for just $39.99. So that's like $100 off of your first 6 bottles at nakedwines.com/best. Use the code and password BEST for 6 bottles of wine for $39.99. That's wild. With shipping included. Yeah.
Incredible.
It's the time to join the Naked Wines community, guys. Head to nakedwines.com/best, click enter voucher, put in our code BEST for both the code and the password, and you're going to get 6 bottles of wine for just $39.99 with shipping included. And you're going to be obsessed with the wines, and you're going to be obsessed by getting up to 60% off what you would pay in a store. You're going to be obsessed, and people are going to be impressed with your Naked Wines.
Toast
So,
to us when you're drinking it and tag us in your posts
please do.
online. We want to see your Naked Wines.
And enjoy it. How you sleeping, Caissie?
I've actually been sleeping really well, all things considered,
Do you know why?
because of my Helix mattress.
Because of the Helix mattress. Come on. You guys, here's the deal. No matter what's happening politically in this world, let's be real. Caissie and I both sleep through the night because we got these Helix mattresses, and we cannot. It is like the Helix mattress situation is really something you need to get on board with. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people forget that mattresses really impact your sleep. They are like, my mattress is fine. And then you ask them how long they've had the mattress. And they're like, I guess, I guess a long time.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, dude, it's time to get a new mattress. Like, now's the time.
Yeah. You know how those old-timey letters that like wives would write to their husbands on the front lines of a war? I'm writing that letter to my Helix mattress every day in my head where I'm just like, I can't wait to see you again. I can't wait to be reunited with you. I count the hours until I can go lay back in my bed.
Yeah. It's like truly, really fantastic. And they've got mattresses for everyone, guys, no matter like big and tall sleepers. They've got kids' mattresses. They've got mattresses if you're a side sleeper, if you're a back sleeper. They've got mattresses if you're too hot at night, mattresses that'll cool you down. They've got literally every kind of mattress to help you get your best sleep all night long. It's an upgrade. It will help you with snoring or back pain or sleep apnea, all of these things. And here's the deal. Right now, it's their President's Day sale offer. It is literally the best offer available exclusive for you, our listeners. And it's better than what you're just going to find on the regular site, which is important. So you just go to helixsleep.com/best for 27% off site-wide, plus 2 free dream pillows with your mattress purchase and free bedding bundle. With any Luxe or Elite mattress order, you get that. And literally, guys, let me tell you something. You want in on this. This is what you want to do. If you've been waiting, now's the time. helixsleep.com/best for 27% off site-wide, plus 2 free dream pillows with mattress purchase and free bedding bundle, sheet set, and mattress protector, and the 2 dream pillows with any Luxe or Elite mattress order. And you just go to helixsleep.com/best. They'll match you with the mattress of your dreams. You're going to get it delivered right to your door. You got 100 nights to try it out. Totally risk-free. They'll take it back. No questions asked. If you hate it, but you're not going to, you're going to be sleeping like a baby. Wait, Caissie, I had to tell you something crazy.
What?
My phone almost exploded.
Wow, how'd that happen?
It's crazy. So Cricket was with her dad last week. And it's weird. We're doing this thing now because he's spending so much time in LA.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you missed my eye roll, but whatever.
I was hanging up on someone trying to call me.
Okay, fine. Wait, let me do it again. I'll do it again. We're doing this thing now because he's spending so much time in LA where we're doing like 1 week on, 1 week off.
Okay.
Which, Cricket's older. She's 11 and a half.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's fucking hard for me and her too. And
it's like you have a different family every other week. It's weird.
Yeah. And I have all the pets. So it's like, anyway, on Friday, she had this like little weird mini field trip at school.
Yeah.
And I had said initially, like, do you want me to come to the mini field trip? Like, just show up. And she was like, no, that's weird. Don't do that. And then, oh my God, it all comes back to the coffee. I had gone to the good coffee place.
Yeah.
After I had my blank street. But it was like around lunch-ish time. And I was at the good coffee place. And she texts me, hey, maybe you should come to the lunch field trip.
Okay.
Basically, it's really cute. Her art class, she's in art this semester. And because she turned in the violin because she's now taking guitar.
Okay.
After school, like extracurricularly. So she's like not doing violin anymore, which she never really liked anyway. But like it's good because she has those basics. And so that's helping her with the guitar. Anyway.
Yeah.
Her art class, they were making like paper mache burgers and fries and stuff.
Oh, cute. Yeah.
Really cute. And there's like a burger place not far from her school. And so her art teacher came up with this like mini field trip over lunch break where they went there, all got burgers, and then like the teacher like took pictures of their burgers and their burgers
Oh, cute.
in the burger place.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's really cute. But so she was like, wait, I do want you to come. I do want you to come. But I'm like 15 minutes away from her at this moment because I went to the other coffee place, and lunch break is only like 30 minutes or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And so then I was like, oh, shoot, I missed it, babe. I would have come. And she's like, well, we're on the field now. You can come look at me through the fence. And I was like, oh, buddy. Like, that's like, she's like, she clearly misses me, right?
Yeah,
Like she wanted to see.
you.
And I mean, I miss her too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm in a cab. And so I went up to the fence and saw her and her friends. And I was like, and then Birdie FaceTimed me right then from Sweden. And I was like, oh my God, my kids that I never see. Whatever. Guys, it's fine. I'm fine. And then my phone, as this was like all happening, my phone just like shut down, like black, like went to black out of nowhere.
No.
And I'm like, that's weird. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. I turned my phone back on and I tried to take a picture of Cricket, and then it just like shorted out again and shut off. And I'm like, that's fucking weird. Why is it doing that? And then Cricket and her friends were like, okay, this is boring. Bye. And I was like, okay, bye. Have a good weekend, whatever. And then I was like, but tried to restart my phone.
Yeah.
And then I like started playing music and it immediately shut down. I was like, this is so weird. And just kept like shutting off and shutting off and shutting off and restarting. And then it would restart and it would say like I had like 70% of battery, and then it would restart and it said I had 5% of battery, and then it would shut down and come back and it would be like you have 80%. It was like my phone was possessed. And you know I can't, electronics are not for her because I break everything electronic.
Yeah.
So I just walked right on into that Apple store. And I was like, I do not have an appointment, but this thing is happening. My phone is possessed. I do not understand. Please help. And the guy looked at it and he's like, let's run diagnostics. And then he ran the diagnostics and he's like, well, you need a whole new mid-system. And I was like, I need a what now? And he's like, a whole new mid-system. Thankfully, you have Apple Care. I was like, well, thank God. But what the fuck is a mid-system? And he's like, well, it's basically a whole new phone inside this phone. And I was like, okay, weird. Okay, can you just give me a new phone? And he's like, no, because you really just need the mid-system. But we don't have one in stock. And I was like, oh, are you kidding me? And then he's like, but let me try to see if I can find one at another store in Manhattan. And he was like, Apple Soho isn't answering, so you could just go there. And I was like, I'm going to fucking waste the rest of my Friday to go to Apple. Like, I just was so annoyed by the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so I left and I went back to my house, and then my phone was fine. And then I was supposed to go meet a friend of mine, Dubs, at who has that podcast, Thank You for Coming Out.
Yeah.
And that I did. And then we had made this plan to go to the Rage Room.
Yeah.
And we like had this plan for like a month basically. And then finally I was like, this is the day that I'm doing it. And I needed to leave to go to the train. And then fucking as soon as I leave, it starts doing it again. And so then I was like, fuck, but I can't cancel on Dubs because literally I'm like already late to get there.
Right.
Anyway,
Right.
I get there. I do the Rage Room. I was going to go to the Soho Apple store, and then Jen texted and was just having a day, and I felt like I was having a day, and she was like, can we just get food and like a cocktail? It's like 5:30. And I was like, yes. And then maybe we'll go to the Apple store after. But then we ended up not going to the Apple store, and my phone was fine. It was fine. So then all day Saturday, my phone was fine. I went and worked out. I've been working out. I've been trying to go to different workouts.
Oh, good. Good.
Did you just hear Gina? Gina? Wait, hold on one second. I hear her like whimpering. This is weird.
What happened?
Shane went to the grocery store for me, and she had let Gina out back before she went, and I think she forgot that she was out back and the door was locked. Gina can like open the door herself if she needs to.
Sure.
But the door was locked, and then she was outside, and she was like, guys, it's very cold. I need to come in, please.
Poor Gina.
She's fine. She's actually not that cold, but she was kind of like,
Yeah,
Mom,
she was panicked.
Mom,
The door didn't work like it usually
Mom,
does.
Mom, you let me
Aw.
inside? Oh my God, Gina, you okay? Oh, she's like radiant. She's so funny. She actually did not feel cold at all, but
Yeah.
I think she was just freaking out. Okay, so
So
anyway,
you've been working out.
I know I've been trying to go to different workouts, and it's been feeling really good. Except today, I woke up and I was like gonna go back to forward space, which is I love forward space. It's like a cardio dance vibe. And
Yeah.
I was like so fucking tired this morning, and my body was like, ugh, no, don't do it. And so I just
Winter
rough.
it really plays into your decision to do anything.
Yeah. So anyway, and my phone was fine. Zach Quinto and I had dinner at this incredible Indian restaurant in the East Village called Bungalow that is, I guess, very hard to get a reservation at. And I didn't really even know that, but I asked my publicist to get us a reservation there because Zach was like, I don't know how to get a reservation there. And I was like, well, I'll ask Alla. And so I did, and they like got us in, and it was fucking delicious and so good.
Amazing.
And that is the one part of being a celebrity that is 100% worth it. Restaurant reservations. That's it.
I get that.
I think that's I would do anything to maintain that status on the restaurant reservation. I'm not even kidding. So,
It's the same as your coffee club, by the way. You're just paying like a monthly fee to be able to get that reservation.
metaphorically, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, thankfully, I wore boots to dinner because it had said it was going to snow, and I didn't believe them. And boy, did it fucking snow. It was like dumping snow.
Oh
and
God.
we were in the East Village, and like you couldn't like get a cab or a car. And literally while we were at dinner, I was telling Zach about my phone, and I had my phone out and it started shutting down. And I was like, fuck. And so then I couldn't even get an Uber. My phone was just dead. But also I was really sad that I didn't get any like good pictures or fun videos of the snow because it was so fun. And like I had to walk all the way home from the East Village in the pouring snow.
Oh my gosh.
And it was like really, really fun. But I couldn't listen to music, and I couldn't, you know what I mean? I was just like, I was so annoyed. I was very annoyed. And Zach was like, honey, what are you doing? You just get a new phone. You can't not have a phone. What are you doing? And I was like, I don't know, Zach. I thought it was going to be okay. I just need a new mid system. So anyway, I get home. I decide that I take Gina out. She like goes crazy in the snow. She was so excited. And then I decided I had this reservation for forward space the next day at 10:45 or 10:35. And I was like, fuck, the Apple store on Sundays opens at 10. But maybe if I just get there in Soho and they have the mid system, I'll just leave my phone. I'll go work out and I'll come back, whatever. So I get to the Apple store right when they open, and I go up, and this wonderful young woman named Phoebe helps me. And I'm like, I have a work order or like whatever, it's in process already, but I need a new mid system, and like my phone is just shutting down, and I can't, it's fine, and then it's just not, and I don't know what's happening, and it's me because I have my electromagnetic current. And she's like, okay. And so she's like, ooh, we have one mid system left, which also, by the way, Apple, maybe you stock more. You know what I mean? If this is like, I don't know if this is a thing that happens, but it obviously is a thing that happened to me. So maybe it's happening to other people. Anyway.
If they had one.
She's like, we have one. So we can do it. And I was like, great. But then she's like, okay, can you take the phone out of the case, please? And I'm like, sure. And I take it out, and she like takes it and like holds, it's the weirdest thing. She takes it, she's like looking at it, and then she takes it and holds it up to her nose, the side of it. And she's like, whoa. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm going to be right back. I was like, what is happening? And then she gets this bag and puts my phone in a bag. And she's like, your battery is expanding. It could explode. It could like set on fire or whatever. It's like bad. And then I looked, and from the side, I guess it was in my case, so I didn't notice. And I don't know why the guy on Friday didn't notice unless it hadn't expanded enough yet.
Right.
Maybe. And that must be it. And maybe me waiting the 2 days was good because if they had just replaced the mid system on Friday and my battery was still expanding, it would have been an issue. Anyway.
Ugh.
But like you look at it from the side and it looked like puffy in the middle. My phone was like puffing up, like bursting at the seams on the side.
Yeah.
Like
Like
a
a
really crazy.
bad can of beans.
It's like a bad can of beans. Exactly. So then I was stuck there, but I was able to text Shane. I couldn't make any calls, but I was able to text Shane and she called forward space and then they moved me to 11:30 because I was like, there's no way I'm making it. But they just gave me a whole new phone.
Oh, that's good.
Well, at that point, the battery was like, they were like, this is fucked. We can't.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do here.
Yeah, no mid system is going to fix this. Was it interesting for you? Did you enjoy not having a phone at
No.
any point? You hated it.
No.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, I am like, I know that people think I'm like capable of putting my fucking phone down. I don't like
Yeah.
always have to look at my phone.
yeah.
It's just, no, I didn't like it. I like wanted to listen to mostly because of music. And then I was like annoyed that I couldn't post on Instagram or take any videos of the snow
Right.
because it was so fun and like cool. And I
Right.
really wanted to also like be walking in the snow listening to music, but that didn't
Right.
happen.
Right. Oh my God. So
So-
interesting. I mean, I too am capable of putting my phone down. I don't most of the time is the problem. So I guess I'm really not that capable of it. But as you were talking, I'm just thinking about like, do you know that I lived in a time where my first job in TV, my office had one cell phone that everyone shared. Like my boss had a cell phone and then the rest of us all shared one cell phone that we would like take when we were going out in the field to like, so that our boss would be able to call the one cell phone and get a hold of whoever was holding it at the time. But isn't that insane? When I had Eli, the hospital gave me a beeper to give to my husband so that I could beep him in case I went into labor. It wasn't even like people didn't have cell phones. That's how not regular it was to not be carrying a cell phone. It's so weird. And I'm like, how did I get to this place where I can't live for 5 minutes without my phone now? So that's why I wondered if you enjoyed it. Because I do love, like, when I get on a plane, I still do treat it like you're not reachable on the plane. Like, I don't even bother hooking up to a plane's Wi-Fi or whatever because it so often doesn't even work, even if you pay for it or you have to pay for it. And I'm like, I'm not paying for it. So I just treat a plane flight like I'm unreachable, and I still love doing that. But if my phone was broken on the street, I would have a meltdown. It'd be different for some reason than being on a plane, you know?
It was different. But yeah, it was very different. But also, if you're on a plane, you can still listen to music.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You can still be entertained.
Unless you're raw dogging it.
Which I hear is a thing.
It's not good for you.
Wow. Well, I'm glad your phone didn't explode.
Me too.
That would have been bad.
And then I went yesterday night in lieu of the Super Bowl.
'Cause
I
we're
went to a
talking on
fashion
Monday.
show. Oh, yeah. We're talking on Monday, so we don't know what's happening in the world, guys. I mean, maybe it's anything could happen. Do you know what I mean? Just literally anything.
So last night was the Super Bowl. You didn't go to watch it.
I didn't watch it. I didn't have any interest. I like Kendrick Lamar, but like not enough, I guess, to like, make it a priority.
Yeah.
Like I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I actually don't ever care about halftime shows about anyone ever.
Oh my
that weird?
gosh. I wish I could say the same, but I really do get into it. I do get into the halftime. It was good. Kendrick was amazing.
Oh yeah, no, I saw obviously watched it after. But I went to the Monse show with Abigail Spencer,
Okay.
fashion show,
Exciting.
as a guest, and we watched it. And Tiffany Haddish was walking in it, which was so wild and like funny. And I was just like, whoa, hey, there she is. What are you doing?
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Interesting.
didn't she like get up and like join a fashion show like spontaneously as a bit at the encouragement of like maybe Kathy Hilton or something? I could totally be making this.
No, you're not making it up at all.
But so maybe it was a reference to that. Maybe they invited her to be part of the show because she had expressed interest in joining a fashion show.
Oh, that's funny. Yes, maybe.
Yeah, Kathy Hilton dares Tiffany Haddish to crash New York Fashion Week. Oh, crashing
Oscar
the
de la
Monse
Renta.
runway.
Oh, it was Monse?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah.
why she was. Well, there you go.
There we go.
Guys, it all makes sense.
Tiffany
Well,
was
she was-
challenged by Kathy Hilton to join the runway mid-show, and naturally the comedian made it a fierce fashion moment. So they just formalized her
They just formalized it.
participation in their next show. That's cool. Was it a cool show?
I loved it. I thought it was
Oh,
beautiful.
Nice.
I really do like fashion shows.
Yeah. I love fashion shows. I've never been to one in person, not a real one. Maybe like the kind at the mall where like local teen girls wear the looks from stores or whatever. But I do work every year. I do work every year for the Daily Front Row Fashion Awards.
Yes, you do.
That's my fashion knowledge comes from
Yeah.
that. And I have to say that, well, you knew so much about fashion. Everybody who hosts it, not everybody who hosts it, but many people who host it know a lot about fashion, but some people don't at all. So sometimes it's like me and that person becoming like quickly educated together. But you and Alan Cumming knows so much about fashion, and he's such a nice person and like so just freely shares what he knows about things in a way that's so like not condescending. I think I was pronouncing some designer
Loewe?
improperly. Yeah, it wasn't Loewe because I actually know that one, but it was something. And the way
Because
that
it's
he
so
like
fucking weird.
the way that he corrected me, he didn't even feel like being corrected, and it was so like gentle and lovely. And I was like, oh my God, he's actually magic, because like to know how to do that and to know how to just say something like, oh, that's so cute the way you said it. It's actually this, and didn't make me feel stupid at all. It was anyway. Monse was cool.
Monse was great. I really loved it. I was happy to go. We love you, Rocket Money. Rocket Money. Rocket Money, guys, in case you haven't heard us talk about it yet, is the most incredible thing. What do we call it?
It's an app.
An app. I was going to say like, I feel like it's like a personal
Service.
assistant. Service.
Yeah.
It's a service. I know.
It's more than an app.
It's more than an
doesn't
app is
seem
what
like
it
a
is.
big enough word. Yeah.
Because Rocket Money pulls together all your spending across all your different accounts. So you can track your spending habits. You can see where you can cut back. But then also they show you all of your subscriptions in one place, and they're like, do you use this ? And then you're like, oh no, that's the free subscription I signed up for to read that one article back in 2017. And then I never canceled it. And I've been paying literally $6.99 a month since 2017. And that, I don't want to do the math right now. It's too much money. Like 85% of people have at least one paid subscription that they do not use every month, that they don't remember that they have. And thanks to Rocket Money, you can see all of your subscriptions in one place. You can cancel the ones you're not using anymore and save even more money.
I love it.
That's
We were
what
just
you want.
Talking
Rocket Money.
earlier about subscriptions and how we sometimes sign up for them to try to be frugal. But if you're not using it and you forget all about it, then you feel so dumb and defeated when you
So
figure
dumb.
out. But you shouldn't, because you're
No.
not alone.
No, you're not alone. Rocket Money is a personal finance app. It helps find and cancel unwanted subscriptions. It monitors your spending so you can see it all in one place and helps you lower your bills so you can grow your savings, so you can have a little bit more put away, so you can figure out what you're going to do with that little bit of more put away. They also easily create personalized budgets with custom categories so you can keep your spending on track, which if you have ADHD, you know is very helpful.
Right.
You can see your monthly spending trends in each category. know where your money is going. Sometimes I'm like, how did I spend so much money last month? And then I'm like, okay, here we go.
right.
I see it right here. Got it. And then you get alerts if bills increase in price, if there's unusual spending activity, or if you're going over budget. And their new goals feature automatically saves money for you, so you don't even have to think about it. Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Also, Rocket Money will even try to negotiate lower bills for you. They can scan your bills and find opportunities to save. Like sometimes if you sign up for like one phone plan and then they have like some new promotion or something, they don't like reach out to you and let you know that you could switch to this other plan and it would save you, you know, $6 or whatever. But Rocket Money does do that, and they can figure it out for you and make it easy. And they'll even deal with customer service so you don't have to, which is incredible.
It's amazing.
Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. Guys, cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/busy today. That's rocketmoney.com/busy. rocketmoney.com/busy. O Positive is a women's health company, guys. And they have got lots of different products, and we love them.
They have many products for any stage you're at in your journey of womanhood.
Yeah, because it's like specifically things for people that have vaginas and vulvas, and that's where they're focusing on. You know what I mean?
I'm a big fan of the urovaginal probiotics because I'm always just looking to have a good probiotic in my routine. And if it's helping my vagina as well, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And they have like what's so special about all of O Positive's products, including urovaginal probiotics, is that they have real tangible results with ingredients that are backed by clinical studies and shaped by board-certified doctors. And they're committed to breaking down stigmas and addressing issues that lots of women experience. You know, almost probably every woman experiences, whether it's like hormonal health, vaginal health, menopause, and lots more. Uro is a probiotic that Caissie was talking about, specifically formulated to support vaginal health and balance healthy vaginal pH. And there are so many things that can disrupt vaginal health: sex, tight clothing, sweat from working out, hormones, periods, like bathing suits, guys. I mean, all kinds of things can lead to an imbalance in vaginal flora and pH that causes unhealthy vaginal odor or taste or abnormal discharge or discomfort. And urovaginal probiotic is a blend of 4 powerful strains of lactobacillus probiotics and backed by research. And it contains prebiotics that increase effectiveness of the probiotics. So
Prebiotics. They're
prebiotics and probiotics.
It's so smart.
Anyway, I think it's incredible. They have so many 5-star reviews. They've got incredible reviews from their customers. People are obsessed. Obsessed.
And I like them because the capsules are kind of cute. They're like pink.
They're pink. They're pink and they're cute. I've recommended it to friends who've like struggled with, you know, sort of like consistent issues. And I'm like, guys, get on this journey because it really does make such a huge difference. Take proactive care of your health and head to opositive.com/busy or enter busy at checkout for 25% off your first purchase. That's opositive.com/busy for 25% off your first purchase. Abigail Spencer's been in town and we've been hanging out a lot, and I really love her, and I'm trying to convince her to move to New York.
Oh my gosh. You're always trying to convince someone to move somewhere.
Listen, guys, I gotta get people over here. You know what I mean? I gotta do it. I just gotta I need people. I need my people. And so I'm
New York is hard. It's very isolating. I know people say that about LA too. I find that LA is less isolating for me. And I don't really think it has to do with the place, by the way. I think it
Yeah.
has to do with like whether or not you're the right type of person for the place.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I feel like career-wise, I've never cracked the code in LA. I don't, like, I'm still very much like a New York worker bee, and I get how it works in New York, and I don't get how it works in LA. But socially, I feel like I'm so LA, and New York was like a prison for me. Just because, like, even though I had just as many friends on the East Coast as I do here, for whatever reason, it just, I don't know. And maybe it's because I did know how to work in New York. And maybe that's why socially, like maybe you can't have both, you know? Like maybe it's not possible to have both.
Maybe it's not possible to have both, but why can't we just want all of the things?
Yeah. Well, we have to keep trying, right? Like what is the point of, if I had everything, I guess I wouldn't wake up and try in the morning. So I guess that's my like goal, is to try to figure out some kind of balance of like working and socialing. But LA is very good for me socially. New York was very hard, and I don't blame you for trying to get people to move there. Although I would wonder, does it turn everyone into like the kind of shut-in that I was when I lived there? I don't know. But work-wise, I totally got it in New York, and socially, I was a failure in New York. I don't know what that is. You know, our friend Yasser Lester, he says that everybody has like a city that they struggled in, and you can never love the city that you struggle in. And then, you know, you can, like, if you move to somewhere once you've like grown up and matured and gotten a little more successful at what you're trying to do, that's the city that you love. And so I know this because he was saying to somebody that, like, these two people that were in a relationship, I forget who it was, but he was like, oh, shoot, you have like opposite struggle cities. And so it's going to be hard because you're going to have to live in one place or the other. And for one person, it's going to be like their struggle city. And for the other person, it's their love city. And so you're never going to be on the same page. And it's always going to be hard. And I was like, oh, that seems like the truest thing anyone's ever said about New York, LA. But
what if you struggle in both?
That means that you need a third city, I guess. I don't know.
Seattle, here I come. Can't wait.
I do have to say, like, every time, you know, I follow like a ton of real estate accounts online or whatever, because I'm just like, I just love looking at properties. Like, it's just fun for me.
Please. That's
if
my favorite
there
thing.
were TV shows, like, you know how they have all the TV shows about like real estate people, real estate realtors. If they had shows that just showed the properties and not the people, I would be so into it. But my point is, I've been looking at a lot of properties in Chicago, and every time I'm like, oh my God, this looks amazing. This looks like so my kind of place. And then I'm like, girl, who are you kidding? You are not going to live in Chicago ever.
Well, it's, first of all, it's so fucking cold. You don't
yes.
like being cold.
Yeah, so cold. And like, also, yeah, I would 100% love living in my apartment in Chicago, looking down on the city and never going out into the city, except for to get an occasional deep dish pizza, which would then make me sick for weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I can't do it with the deep dish pizza. I really can't. I really
It's
can't
so
do it.
good.
I'm sorry.
But that's one of those things where, like, okay, so there's a lot of foods that aren't great for you, but I think you can kind of like be in denial about it. You can be like, you know, and I'm not placing like judgment or shame. I'm saying like legitimately not good for me. Like it's gonna make me ill because of the demon baby gallbladder, etc. Or like also as I get older, like sometimes I eat things and it's like I have a terrible hangover the next day. Like I had been drinking the night before and it's the same kind of feeling. But like you eat a hamburger and you can kind of like fool yourself into being like, listen, this is a serving of protein. There's some vegetables on here. There's grain and there's dairy. And so like it might not be the healthiest thing in the world, but it also is like a complete meal and I'm not like a total monster. But deep dish pizza is like the one food that I cannot fool myself into like even saying that. Like, are there tomatoes? Sure. Is there dairy? Sure. A way lot more dairy than I'm supposed to eat. Is there, it just like, there's, I can't even lie to myself about the way that deep dish is going to make me feel later. I just have to admit that I'm eating it for like happiness reasons and that I'm going to pay for it sooner or later. And
But
it's
isn't
going to be
that weird
sooner.
that food is like that is like what is in your head, that it's like for happiness reasons, but the fact is you know that it's going to, what is the happiness? Do you know, I have the same thing clearly
Yeah.
because I have IBS and like I eat things and I'm like, this is going to be a disaster for me.
Yeah.
But why am I doing it when I know?
It's
'Cause
so
I'm like,
weird.
I don't know. I just like have a cognitive disconnect.
I mean, we should probably study this. I'm sure someone probably has studied it. Like why?
Like with
Well, it's like
food,
people say-
it's like food specifically.
Yes. People all the time are like, why doesn't broccoli give us an endorphin rush? Like, why are we made that way? And it's probably like, well, I don't know why, but there probably is some biological reason why certain foods are like as exciting as drugs probably are to some people. But broccoli, no one's like addicted to broccoli except for young Eli Debenham.
And cricket, baby cricket.
Was addicted to broccoli.
Same
We would
with
go
baby
into
cricket.
his room and he would like hide something behind his back and we'd be like, what are you hiding? And then he'd show us and it'd be like a bag of Costco broccoli that he stole. First of all, sir, you do not have to hide nor steal broccoli. That is not going to be something that you're ever barred from. That guy has the healthiest eating habits of anyone I know. Maybe he does get a huge endorphin rush from broccoli. I don't know. I don't think so. I just think he doesn't care about food.
I'm fascinated by those people and I envy them and good for them. I care deeply.
I told you one time that like I saw him putting something in his phone and I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, I'm writing down what I ate. And I was like, oh, to make sure you ate enough. And he was like, yeah, because otherwise I'll forget and I'll be like all dizzy and feeling terrible and then wondering why. And then I'll realize that I haven't eaten all day. And then that was an important epiphany for me because all the times I've been frustrated writing down what I ate because I was on a diet and I wanted to make sure I was eating the right amount, just as hard for him. Someone that I would like envy, because he was so tall and thin and he was struggling just to like stay not passed out. Seems easier. It seems easier, but I was compassionate to my own child in that moment.
Compassion for your own child is a thing sometimes you have to really dig deep for. I just had to take a picture of Gina because she is so cute. I think her near-death experience really wiped her out.
Oh my God.
She's just, and by near death, I mean she was outside for 5 minutes. She couldn't get back in.
I mean, to her though, she's a dramatic dog.
She's so dramatic. She is so fucking dramatic. It is hilarious. I just texted you the picture. She's like
my God.
bundled up in like a little ball on the sofa. Like, I'm safe.
Aw, she does look so cute. She does. Well, see? She gets it. She knows what happiness really is.
Yeah, she really does. She's really cute. I don't know.
Well,
How's Matt doing? What's the health update?
Oh my gosh. He's at the doctor right now getting his post-surgical checkup. It was rough, guys. Thank you to everyone who sent well wishes for him. That's so nice. He was so touched that like listeners of the podcast were sending him well wishes. We went in, we had to be there at 5 a.m. I know, as I told you, for surgery. And then they explained to us like what was going to happen. And so they were like, the prior process takes like an hour. And then the surgery is going to take 1 hour. Then he'll be in recovery for 1 hour. And then you can like take him home because like everything's outpatient now, like you don't stay overnight in the hospital. And everybody there was really nice. There was one man there who was, I could hear him kind of complaining that like he had been there for a really long time without like being checked in or whatever. Nobody was like, he was supposed to go back and start getting prepped for his surgery. What I didn't know is it was because Matt's surgery took like 2 times longer than it was supposed to. It was a really, really like, it was a bigger deal, I think, than they initially thought it was. But everything was fine, and the surgery went well, and they were like, he's doing great. But it's a rough one. Anything
It's rough.
abdominal, you know, is really like, it's super painful. And he had never had surgery really before. So just everything from like the anesthesia, and there were so many things that he's like, they might have told me about this, but I can't remember because I was like so out of it or whatever. But the little like aftercare sheet was like, you might be up and walking around a couple hours after the surgery. And I think he like really took that to heart, and it just was not the case for him. It wasn't the case. And so like Lincoln had to practically carry him in the house when we got home because he just couldn't even like stand up. Like he couldn't even, like he was just in the bent over position. Like he wasn't even able to stand up. And so we got him inside, we put him in bed. He slept for hours and hours. But then like when it started to get around to like maybe he has to get up and go to the bathroom or whatever, I was like, he's not going to be able to like walk to the bathroom. Like it's not happening. And so Eli was just like, I'm going to go out and get him a walker, which I was like, he's probably going to tell us to like shove it up our asses because who wants to be told that they need a walker to get to the bathroom?
Totally.
But to our surprise, he was kind of like, oh my God, thank God. Thank you so much for thinking of this, because I was just thinking there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to get to the bathroom. So, so it's just, you know, he's gotten steadily better. And as predicted, every day he gets up and tries to do like probably 20% more than he should. And by that, I mean like try to like let the dogs out or make his own cereal or whatever. Poor guy. But but then he just rests, and you know, and he's being tough and also a good patient, a sweetheart. But yesterday he had thought that he would be well enough to go to watch the Super Bowl at our friend Ashley's house.
Oh.
And then
yeah. I'm like,
and then
Matt, come on.
Like he doesn't, this is the sad thing is like he doesn't even care about the Super Bowl or anything. He just wanted to like be around people, which I can't say that I blame him. And then at the last minute, I was kind of like, are you going to be able to make it up the stairs at Ashley's house? And he was like, no, I'm not going to be able.
It's not happening.
And then the boys were like, we'll help you up the stairs, Dad, if you want to go. And he just made a call at the last minute, like, no. And then we were all like, we'll stay home with you. And he was like, no, I want you to go and have a fun time. And like, I'll just check in with you guys a lot. And I'll let you know, like, if I'm going to sleep or whatever, but I'll try to stay still.
Yeah.
And so we were like, okay. And then we went to Ashley's to watch the Super Bowl and did check in with Matt. But then I realized that like, not only is this the longest he's ever been in the house since we've moved in, like, you know, like the like 4 days in the house is the longest he's been in the house. Yeah. But it's also, that was probably the first time he's ever been alone in the house since we've moved in. So...
Oh, that's kind of wild. Maybe he was like, get the fuck out. I want to be alone in this house.
Maybe. I was trying to get him to admit that he enjoyed it a little bit on some level, like being alone, but he wouldn't. But he was like, no. Obviously, I miss you guys. But I was like, oh my God, you got to spend 4 hours in the house by yourself. But
oh my God, that's
anyway,
really
he's doing
funny.
well. Thank you. He's very bruised, which I think shocked him. I didn't think he understood that his like torso would be all bruised. I didn't really even think of it either, but it makes sense. It happens sometimes, you know.
It seems really painful. I don't want to have surgery.
Yeah, I know. I've been thinking so much. Do you know the comedian Nate Bargatze? Have you ever seen him?
I know who he is, yes.
He does a bit about how his dad loves surgery and how the doctor will be like, well, you could like do some stretches. I could give you a sheet with some stretches. And Nate Bargatze's like, my dad's like, no, just do the surgery. And I'm like, that's what I always think about my mom. Like my mom really loving surgery is like, it seems like I'm being derogatory. I don't know what's the right word for it. It seems like I'm being dismissive or whatever. My mom just readily agreed to so many surgeries, like almost immediately without like trying to put it off or whatever. Like if a doctor told her that he thought she should consider surgery, she was like getting that surgery the next week, She didn't really, she never.
No, I think that's very common though too with like older people.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it's very much like you trust your doctors.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know
and
what I
think,
mean?
like in my mom's case, like there was something there, something like the worse it went or the scarier it was, the more like, I don't know. I don't want to say into it that she was, but like my mom loved to tell a story of getting her tonsils out while she was wide awake as a teenager, like holding the tonsil bowl under her own face while some like wild doctor took her tonsils out. So like sadism probably isn't the right word, but I think also from that generation, like things were done differently. And like, I don't know if it was like the drama of it that she loved or whatever, or like feeling cared for, like in the most dramatic way. But I've just been thinking about that. I've been thinking about that Nate Bargatze joke and thinking about my mom and thinking about how much I did any type of surgery and how I would do anything to avoid any type of surgery. And then poor Matt just getting like, all surgeries are rough, but like abdominal surgeries are rough because like your core, how people tell you how important your core is all the time and how you can't do any functions without your core.
Yeah.
Getting your core cut into and like set two parts of it severed apart from each other is rough. You literally can't like lift your leg or whatever. So anyway, I've just been thinking about that so much and how, well, it's like childbirth too. Like some people just sailed through childbirth and they're like, easy peasy, it took me 20 minutes. And I'm like, it tore me inside out and I died 9 times and I never want to do that again. Some people are just champs at it, but this has been rough. It took a lot out of him. But he's been so buoyed by everyone's messages of love. And yeah, the guys have been helping me take care of him. And he's looking forward to being able to get back to Panera for his Sips Club, even though he can't have caffeine for the first couple weeks, I think. Sucks, man. He's eating a lot of clear fluids. He's eating everything from the 60s. Jell-O, pudding, consomme.
Oh my God, that's really funny.
Just
I
bad
do love
stuff.
Jell-O.
Do you love Jell-O?
Yeah, I do. I really do.
Funny. I don't love Jell-O, but I do love this one. Oh my God. Me and the guys, we talked about Jell-O for like an hour the other night. This is my family. They were talking. I was like, have you guys even ever had Jell-O? And Eli was like, yeah, once when I had pneumonia. And Lincoln was like, yeah, you were in the hospital and you had Jell-O. That's probably where I had it too. Or I had it like when I got my wisdom teeth out. But like Jell-O is such a not a normal food, I guess, for my kids to have had. So I was like, I don't even ever remember. Like I never made you Jell-O. And then we were just talking about how many Jell-O recipes there were, like how pervasive Jell-O recipes were when I was a kid and how my grandmother would make those cakes that you poked holes in and dripped the Jell-O down into the cake. Have you ever had that?
No.
A Jell-O poke cake?
Literally no. What?
You should look up a picture. But then the guys were looking up like every Jell-O recipe. And I was talking about the only thing I ever saw my mom prepare in the kitchen. My mom made me stovetop stuffing one time when I had strep throat. And then the only other time that I saw her, and this is because I'm not saying she didn't take care of me. We lived with my grandmother and my grandmother's the one that ran the kitchen. So my mother never had to cook anything. But the only other time I ever saw my mom make something was she made like for like a 4th of July, she made some type of like strawberry Jell-O and condensed milk. Like it almost like mixed together to make like a Play-Doh, and then she formed it into strawberries. And I remember her being like, these are delicious. And I tasted one and I was like, And I remember my grandmother saying, they're too rich for a kid. It's too rich for her. And I was just dying of laughter relaying this to my kids because I'm like, I always think of rich as like really like something that's fancy, like foie gras or whatever,
yeah, totally.
you know? And my grandmother saying like, that's too rich for her. You shouldn't give that to her. And I'm like, meanwhile, it was like the two trashiest ingredients that have ever existed. Oh my God. And then we were talking about how when we were kids, how many treats were marketed as like, this is too good for kids.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
There's so
don't
many.
give this to your kids. They don't
Not for your
deserve it.
kids. Like Dove chocolates. I feel like
I was saying, I remember
Dove is Dove.
Toffee Fay. It's just too good for kids. And then also that Viennetta dessert that is like, I thought it was so fancy.
Me
I thought that
too.
like you had to
Wait,
be
me
royalty
Totally.
to have that dessert.
No, I know. Me too. Like
And meanwhile, it's just like from the
literally,
grocer's freezer.
it's just, I don't know.
Oh my God. But yeah, my family just sat around talking about Jell-O for a solid hour the other night because of the Jell-O that my husband has to consume. But I will say that when I worked for David Letterman, his mother, Dorothy Mengering, wanted to do a recipe book with the staff because she had such a cute relationship with everyone that was on the staff. And so she was a big cook herself, and she wanted to put together like a cookbook using staff members' family recipes. And as I'm saying, like, I didn't really have any family recipes. Like, my mom made those strawberries, Jell-O strawberries that were too rich for me. And so Dorothy called the office one time, and she was calling for me as she was working on this book. I believe with Jess Cagle from Entertainment Weekly. I believe he was like her co-author.
What? How?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was like one of his first things, like as he was like a fledgling writer. I'll have to look up the book and see if that's correct. But anyway, she called and she was calling for me and she said, Caissie, a number of staff members have submitted family recipes, but I noticed that you haven't. Do you not want to participate? And I said, Dorothy, I feel kind of bad and embarrassed, but like, I don't really have any family recipes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have that kind of family where we have family recipes. And so she started talking to me she was like, well, let's talk about this. Do you have celebrations? Do you have parties? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, okay, yes. Like my other grandparents, we go to their house and they have celebrations and most of it's just prepared food. But my grandmother, my Grammy that I don't live with, she does make this one thing, but I think it's just like a Jell-O recipe from a magazine and it's called like broken glass tort or whatever. And it's made with Jell-O. But I was like, but I think it's like Jell-O's recipe. It's not.
Right.
You know, it's not like my grandmother didn't invent it and it hasn't been passed down through the generations. And Dorothy was so nice. And she was just like, if that's your family tradition, if that's your family recipe, you know, then we're putting this recipe in the book and like we'll get permission from Jell-O if it's their recipe, if they need to be named or whatever. But so anyway, my Grammy's like magazine recipe for broken glass tort is in Dorothy Mengering's Late Show recipe book, which was very cool because I think that was the first book I was ever mentioned in, and I felt very cool. I never thought that I would be mentioned in a book. Yeah, she was sweet. She was a sweet lady. Jell-O. It's famous.
People love Jell-O.
Well, someday I'll make you broken glass tort and you'll see if you like it. It's it's a very church picnic type of.
What, like, yeah, well.
It's like
Can you still make it? Like, have you made it?
I haven't made it in years just because like Jell-O is such a bygone thing. I think the reason I loved it is because it was colorful. It had a graham cracker crust in like a 9x13 pan.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would mix topping, like a Cool Whip whipped topping, or I suppose you could do it with whipped cream, but Cool Whip like can sit for hours. And I think you mix that with pineapple juice and maybe pineapple tidbits, or maybe you made the Jell-O with the pineapple juice, but you made several different colors of Jell-O and you cut it up into like little broken glass, like stained glass looking bits. And then you mixed it into the whipped topping and you put it on top of the graham cracker crust bottom and then like let it all set together. But I think I just liked it because it was colorful. I can't remember. And I love anything with pineapple in it is for me. So yeah. So anyway, that's the recipe.
I do love pineapple as well.
Yeah. So you might like it. It's like if cheesecake had no cheese but did have Jell-O, kind of.
I love a pineapple upside down cake.
Me too. That's my favorite. You know
is.
that. You've served it to me on my birthday, and my guys always make it for me on my birthday.
So good.
I love pineapple upside down. Nothing better. Oh my gosh. It'd be a good time for you to have a pineapple upside down cake in your snowy weather.
Maybe I'll make one tomorrow.
It's not hard. That's the best part about it.
Well, everybody's still getting sick. It's still happening out there. And you got to take your vitamins, guys. I'm just telling you, you got to take your vitamins.
And especially if you have kids in school and don't know how much of their lunch they're eating, you know that they didn't eat one bite of their breakfast, you have to nutritionally support them so that they can be in the best shape, especially this time of year.
Especially. And we know that a lot of typical children's vitamins are basically just candy in disguise. Lots of sugar, unhealthy chemicals, and lots of gummy junk that gets stuck in their teeth and causes cavities. I speak from experience in this one, which is why Hiya was created. It's a pediatrician-approved, superpowered chewable vitamin. Most children's vitamins are filled with like 5 grams of sugar, can contribute to a variety of health issues. Hiya is made with 0 sugar, 0 gummy junk. Yet it tastes great. It's perfect for picky eaters. And it fills in the gaps in most modern children's diets to provide the full body nourishment our kids need with a yummy taste that they love. Formulated with the help of nutritional experts, Hiya is pressed with a blend of 12 organic fruits and vegetables, and then it's supercharged with 15 essential vitamins and minerals, including vitamins D, B12, C, zinc, folate, and many others to help immunity, energy, brain function, mood, concentration, teeth, bones, and more. Guys, it's also designed for kids of all ages, and I get down with a Hiya myself.
Right? It's not GMO. It's vegan, dairy-free, allergy-free, gelatin-free, nut-free. Everything else that you're worried about, kids
Plus,
of all
it's
ages.
like delivered straight to your door. It's one less thing you have to worry about picking up, and they have like a little reusable bottle. And so the packaging is like sort of minimal when it comes to use. You're not like throwing away plastic bottles every 2 months or whatever.
Right.
I love Hiya. We've worked out a special deal with Hiya for their best-selling children's vitamin. Receive 50% off your first order. To claim this deal, you got to go to hiyahealth.com/busy. This deal not available on their regular website, guys. Go to hiyahealth.com/busy and get your kids the full body nourishment they need to grow into healthy adults. Oh my God, Goodles. Goodles!
Goodles has been saving my life lately.
Gina, we're trying to talk about Goodles.
Oh my gosh.
Gina has a new toy that she's obsessed with, but I'm obsessed with
little
Goodles.
pig toy.
Her little pig
Aw.
toy. So if you hear the pigs squeaking in the background, just know that that's what I sound like when I eat Goodles.
Oh my gosh. Right now, I am trying to feed my family and I'm like out of ideas. And I know that mac and cheese is always a great, comforting, and easy option. But Goodles comes in so many different flavors and varieties and noodle shapes that it has my back so hard right now. And
It
I
really
can
does.
make a different macaroni and cheese side every night. Plus, it's full of protein and fiber and all these nutritionally beneficial things. When I say it's saving my life, I'm not exaggerating.
No, I mean, I can only imagine with Matt, needing what he like needs to eat, like soft food.
Yes,
right now.
yes.
It's like amazing. And he's going to get like 14 grams of protein and 7 grams of fiber with
thank God.
prebiotics and 21 vitamins and minerals from real plant sources. And it's a low glycemic index food, and it's kosher and clean label purity award certified. And they have all kinds of amazing flavors, deluxe mac, and I like what is it called? Cacio e pepe. Oh my God, babe. Cacio e pepe.
And the truffle is amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. Well, I love it all. You gotta try Goodle's mac and cheese. Don't forget their nutrient-packed pasta to pick up some when you're out shopping. Goodle's is available nationwide at major grocery stores and Targets and Walmarts. We know that you're going to love Goodle's as much as we do. You know what's annoying about having a new phone?
What?
That you have to set up all the stuff.
Yes, it puts me into like a fugue state every time I've ever had to do it.
Well, it's also
and
just
especially like were they able to transfer your phone to anything? Okay, thank goodness. I was worried.
Yeah, but like the stuff like you have to reset up Apple Pay, like all of my Uber Eats and Postmates and like all those things, like Uber itself, period.
Right.
Lyft.
And we've gotten so accustomed to having those things that like if something goes wrong, like if my password expires and I can't remember the old password to put in the new password, and then I'm like, do I just live without Lyft now? Like, what is that? And then I feel like such a fucking homesteader, that I'm just like, I'm always on the lookout for when everything surpasses me and I can never enter back into the fray. Like, I can never, like, my password is just gone and I'm never getting back to that app again. And I just have to find another way, like the city bus or whatever.
It's kind of my thing.
It's bad. And then somebody will be like, you need 17-factor authentication. And I'm like, I can't even get in with just a password. Never mind if there's other factors entering into it. And like, if I have to tell you how many squares contain a truck, and like, I'm not sure if that would be considered a truck or not. It's all a lot. It's a lot. I feel very trampled by technology lately. So I can't imagine having to set up a new phone at this moment.
No, it's fucking annoying, but you got to do it.
You got to do it. In a way, that's kind of what I took from Kendrick's halftime show, is that there's all these systems in place. And what he was talking about was a much deeper level, but he was talking about people being controlled by systems instead of us controlling the systems. And so sometimes when I'm like, wait, is the phone the boss of me or am I the boss of the phone? That's a very precarious place to be.
It's a good question. I seemingly have a berry update.
A real-time update. That's exciting.
She obviously talked to someone. The berries were just sitting out on my stoop. So, and then this just arrived and it's a FedEx package that's just opened.
Oh, sure. Yeah. That's where we are now, I guess.
What's in it? What's in the box? It's wet.
Oh, sure.
Oh, so
because
good.
you couldn't open it without getting it all wet.
I don't think I'm thrilled about this because it's from Blumhouse.
Oh,
and it says Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be scary. This is a scary present that I'm about to open. It is like literally wet.
Oh, God.
No, it's just a t-shirt.
Oh, okay. Is the shirt scary?
It's soaking wet. It's soaking wet. The shirt is soaking wet. Soaking wet. It says all my friends are villains.
Oh, that's a cute shirt, though. I'm bummed
cute.
that it's all wet.
Just throw it in the wash. It'll be fine.
Remember when I sent you nachos and the person that hacked them up at the restaurant was like, I could put it in dry ice, but I'm just going to use the ice from the bar.
They didn't know. I think they didn't know they didn't know. And they put it in fucking ice from the bar. And
you just got a box of water and cheesecloth.
Water. It was actually kind of iconic. Oh, you know what else I wanted to tell you? Well, you haven't seen it yet, but I did a thing upstairs in my bedroom because, I have the closet room now. Yeah. So the bedroom that I'm in, that I sleep in, like had 2 closets built into it, like on the walls, like one on either side. And I don't need that space because I have a closet room.
Right.
One of them I have like a bunch of stuff, like storage stuff, like all my photos and all that junk that I hold on to because I'm an insane person and have all that stuff. But the other closet, I was like, it's just empty. And like, what am I doing? And so I had a handyman come and take it all out, but like save it so that it can be put back in for the future. Who knows what will happen? if like I sell the house or rent it or something and the people need closets, and then the bedroom that is my closet becomes a bedroom again. Anyway, I had him take it out, and it's like this little alcove, and my desk is in it. I'm going to like wallpaper it with like this sort of padded wallpaper.
Yeah.
That's cute. And then I'm going to do the podcast up there. I'll do like Zooms and work up there. And it'll be nice because I won't have to like answer the door every 5 seconds.
That's amazing. I know, because you're kind of like the receptionist of your house.
I am. But I mean, I guess that won't change necessarily, but I'll just be somewhere else. I don't know what the fuck I ordered for lunch. I forget. I just really am on one, I guess. Whoa, there's salmon? Okay, busy. Okay. Salmon. Why not?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, because my skin was freaking out this week, and I was like, I need to eat more salmon. Oh no. Like I always go back to these like old brain ways of like eating or thinking, like from like being indoctrinated as we all were in the like 80s and 90s about like what nutrition is.
Oh my God. I'm not a big seafood lover.
No,
but
I know.
So I never eat salmon, but for Christmas I cured salmon for the guys in my little like private office refrigerator. And I wondered if it would like win me over to possibly eating salmon that I had tended to over several days, but it didn't. I think it pushed me further away from salmon forever.
Yeah.
There's a lot of juice in salmon. I didn't know. I did not know.
I don't know if like home curing. It's so gross.
They said it was delicious.
What's really good?
What?
Beet cured salmon.
Yes, I cured some with beet. I cured some with beet and onion, some with dill, and some with lemon. They said it was all delicious. They ate it all up, but I didn't. I spilled some salmon curing juice on my floor, and that almost took me out. It was a lot. But I love a science experiment, so I was all in for it. I just didn't like handling the salmon. So if my skin freaks out, I have nothing to go back to. I guess I would eat like a can of tuna fish, maybe, possibly. Probably not the same.
I don't think it's the same.
Oh my God.
Salmon's just, I don't know, in some world, I remember reading this thing when Michelle and I were on Dawson's Creek. Remember, we both were like on this like, she's like, we have to eat this food for our skin. And it was just like the amount of things that, oh my God, I got a colonic because of her last week.
Oh my God. She encouraged you to get a colonic?
She was like, busy, are you getting colonics? I'm like, no. And she's like, I hadn't either. And now we have to do it. And she like sent me to this place, and I went and got a colonic, and it was like fine. But like also as a person who chronically shits, like I'm like, what's the point of this? He's like, we're cleaning it all out. I was like, honey,
you're like,
come to my house on a Wednesday.
Oven.
Yeah, like this is not, whatever you're doing is not doing any more than what I do, like literally like 3 times a week. Just give me a little wheat and watch it clean out. Anyway, but I remember she like read this book or something about like the diet for your skin. And so then we were eating like lots of salmon and avocado and walnuts and like raspberries. These are the things I remember. These are the things I fucking retain. Yeah. And we were just like convinced that this was the secret to our skin.
And you were like, my skin looks so good. And then you were like, forgot that it was because you were 19.
We were 21 years old. That was so stupid. But actually, like, my skin wasn't good. Like, I got cystic acne when I was on Dawson's Creek. I had cystic acne for a while. It was like not great. My skin was not great. Okay. Being in your 20s is rough sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
I never had too much of a problem with that, so I was very lucky. But, I mean, those are good foods. You weren't steered wrong in terms of nutrition. I just don't know how much of a skin miracle they actually perform, but maybe.
But maybe.
Maybe. Some people say like they give up dairy and their skin clears all the way up. So I think like
but I think we should. I think dairy really gums it all up. I don't think we should be any of us should be eating too much dairy. I got to be honest. I know we love it, but it's
and
like
then it's
I don't
so
think
good.
it's great for you.
So, you know,
Yeah.
or maybe it's like maybe there's better dairy than like what we have access to. I don't know. I'm not saying raw milk. Oh my God, I belong to this moms group like on Facebook, and one of the moms tried to be like, I have a bunch of raw milk for sale. I never saw anyone get shut down so fast in the age of bird flu.
Come on,
where people
guys,
were like,
get it together.
Ma'am, you cannot and you may not share your bird flu juice with everyone.
No, get out of here.
Not right now.
No, we don't have time. We don't have the. No, we're in a crisis.
Yeah.
What are you doing your best at this week?
What am I doing my best at this week? That's a good question. I really haven't had a self too much, you know, which is good. Because one of the things that I always talk to Matt about, or not always, but I have been talking a lot to Matt about, is like, it's easier for me to do something if someone else needs me to do it than if I'm just like saying I should do it for myself. So like, for example, if you were to ask me to like straighten up the kitchen, I would much more happily do it, believing in my mind that it was for you, as opposed to like me just wanting the kitchen to be tidied up. So like all of that being said, it has been kind of nice to be needed, like to be depended on a little bit, because I'm in that weird age where like my kids are grown. They don't need shit from me, you know? And in fact, like they are helping me sometimes as much or more than I'm able to help them. So it was nice to have somebody like dependent on me for tea or whatever, or cream of wheat or Jell-O, as the case may be. So yeah, so I've been doing my best at that, and I think that it's, you know, I'm good at that, and it's been a long time since anyone's needed that from me. So that was kind of nice, but it doesn't like leave a lot of time for like self, you know, which is, I think is also kind of good, because I think sometimes we dwell on self a little too much, maybe. And I know that I've talked a little bit about this on the podcast, where I'm like, I might be concerned about how far down the self-care road we've gone, because I think like it gets twisted into like other ideas, and it gets twisted up into like consumerism and actually being like selfish and self-absorbed at all costs and not seeing the world around you. And I don't think that's what people originally intended when they talked about like self-care. So, you know, so it's just been an interesting time to be like, okay, so now like going forward, where I had all the time in the world to just do things for myself and I wasn't necessarily good at it, and then having like a few days back on, like flipped to this scenario where someone's dependent on me to like literally eat or survive, kind of, not to be too dramatic about it. Now, like it's gonna flip back a little bit. And so like, how can I find a balance between like doing things for other people, doing things for myself without being completely self-absorbed, and, you know, just like trying to notice like what I find satisfaction in and what motivates me and what gives me comfort and calm in this like really just an insane time still.
Totally insane.
You know, and like how much do I want to be calmed and comforted in this time? Because I think that can also be dangerous, to calm yourself all the way down from a situation that your nervous system is telling you isn't right and shouldn't be, you know. So I think I'm in a season of like trying to rebalance things and figure out like who I am and who I want to be going forward. Which is so weird that it comes off of like a time of, you know, just doing basic things like taking care of your partner when they're sick or whatever. But that's kind of where I am, and it's interesting, and I'll be interested to see, if anything sticks from it, I guess. If anything sticks, or if I have like some big idea of like what I want to do and who I want to be moving forward, because I do feel like it's a pivotal time, and I think we're all going to come out of this different. And so I guess right now I'm just trying to figure out like what kind of different do I want to be,
I think that makes a lot of sense.
That's that.
So, NBD, that's that.
What are you
TBD,
doing?
Shrug emoji.
What are you doing
Just
your
that's
best
it.
at?
I don't know. I'm like, bitch, I don't know. I don't fucking know. What I do.
Well, you've been working out and you survived a near phone explosion.
Did that. I did that. Boy, did I do that.
And you're moving on with your new phone.
Yeah, I'm trying to live my best life with that new phone. Trying to find more ways to get endorphins back into my life was a goal for myself, given the current climate and what was going on. And I feel like this last week, I really have been doing my best at like trying to like, okay, just like, let's just fucking do it. Just make time, just get there, just do it, even if I don't want to. Because the winter is hard.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to continue to stay like present and not get like overwhelmed by the enormity of the world's grief, and my own grief and the continuation of grief for everyone. Those things. That's it. Mine isn't as big, but like just, it's a continuing process that we're being tasked with in this moment.
Yeah.
So it feels like even though it's like just small-ish, it feels like a win.
Yeah.
I
don't think it seems small at all. I think it's kind of central to who you are, and it's something that you've been looking for a while. And isn't it weird? Like sometimes we just let go of something, like in your case, like because of how your life changed, you let go of like this working out that was so regular to your life. And it was so important, like a pillar of your life. And you were just like, it doesn't fit. It doesn't work right now. And then like, I'm just proud of you for figuring it out, because like sometimes then I forget like, oh shit, this was such an important thing in my life. And I just like let it go because other things were more important. And then I felt like something was missing. And then I had to remember like what was missing, And it's just this, I don't know, I'm just happy that you're doing it. I think that's a really big deal.
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying.
That's all we can do. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
Well, okay. We love you guys.
We love you guys.
Thanks for being here with us.
Yes. Always.
I guess my parting feeling just for anyone, and I know this is not you, but if you didn't like the Super Bowl halftime show, that's okay. You don't need to post about it.
Did people not like it? What's happening? I haven't looked. Like literally when I tell you,
like,
it was so off my radar because I was like at this fashion show and then we had like dinner and like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I just haven't even really been online yet today. What happened? I mean, I love Kendrick.
Because
I saw that Serena Williams was there, which is fun.
Yes. It's very layered. I was laughing because Ashley was taking a video of her party and everyone's reaction to it, and caught Eli at the end of the clip, and his delight at the whole thing is so funny because Eli's like not a huge music fan, but he's a huge drama fan. And so he loves the...
I'm very here for the Kendrick taking Drake down stuff.
Yeah,
like I think it's really fucking rad and funny, and like and those songs are incredible. Like I love
and like
them.
Kendrick's a Pulitzer Prize winner, so like let's remember.
He's a poet laureate.
Yeah.
He's incredible. I am a huge Kendrick Lamar fan.
Not
always
just multiple
have been.
Grammys, but also he every award, and well deserved. I guess the point is that so many people are like, I didn't get it. It was like, that wasn't the time for political statements or like worst halftime
Jesus.
ever. And I'm just like, oh my God. They
Ugh.
change who it is every year. You're showing your whole ass by complaining about it. At best, you're revealing yourself to be like a boomer junior. But at worst, you're showing your ass about who
Being
you
racist?
think deserves your time and
being
the
racist.
attention.
Right,
Yeah.
sure.
So,
that,
like,
I mean, without having done any research, that seems clear
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
That like,
So-
oh shit, people were complaining online because they're racist.
yeah.
Mhm.
And so it's just like, if it wasn't for you, I would encourage you to look at it again and try to figure out not just like the stuff between Kendrick and Drake, but like the bigger political messages with Samuel L. Jackson portraying Uncle Sam.
See, I really got it. I should
You gotta watch it.
I'll watch it.
And like the messages and the visuals with the dancing and like making the American flag and how the American flag was split in two, all of this stuff, like, and there's tons of
I did
explainers
see that. I thought
online.
that was very cool.
So cool. And so I would just encourage you to like, watch it again and maybe read one of those explainers and see if you can appreciate it on that level. But what I'm saying is, if it wasn't for you and nothing anyone says about it can get you to appreciate it on any level, you don't need to make a Facebook post about it
Yeah, who gives a shit?
during
Literally,
Black
who gives
History
a shit?
Month.
But
You
like,
just-
actually, who gives a shit?
you
This
don't
is like
need
the
to.
thing. This is the yucking other people's yum. This
Yeah.
is like the fucking critiquing art that's like not asking for you to fucking critique it on your Facebook. Like, fuck off, everybody. Like, what the fuck? Who cares? Literally, who cares?
You're surely entitled to your own opinion and your
Sure.
but it's just like whatever. Like
Whatever.
I don't know.
Guys, whatever.
Art's important and we only get so much of it now. And sadly, it does have to be subsidized by, big corporations like the NFL or whatever, like for many, many people to see it. So maybe just keep that in mind. I don't know. I don't mean to like lecture people, but it's been exhausting. It's exhausting. And I'm just like, yes, I know you like it better when whoever is performing, but
Everybody always has a fucking issue with everything. Do you know what I mean? Just like, it's enough, guys. No one cares. Just like, it's just entertainment.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if it's
Just
not
stop.
if it's not interesting to you, okay. So what?
Yeah. Stop getting mad about things that you can easily live through by going
Truly.
to like the bathroom.
Truly. Or just not watching. Like, it's
You
just
could
not
have
that
gone
deep.
to get a piece of deep dish or some nachos, as we mentioned. But like, yeah. Everybody
Not that
like
deep.
that's what I have to say. That's what I have to say. And you can tell your high school friends that are the ones complaining that that's what there is to say on that issue.
Yeah, like literally what? Come on. You know what?
Read
There's
something.
There's literally so much we could be talking about, thinking about, upset
Yeah.
about. I don't think the Super Bowl halftime show is what we should be focusing any kind of attention on in terms of like outrage.
Yeah.
Am I
agreed.
wrong?
Agreed. The opposite. Whatever's the opposite of outrage. I don't know the word right now, but I'm happy that it happened. It was a good show.
Great. Sounds great.
All right, you guys. We'll
Now
talk to
I
you
want to
soon.
watch it and love it.
Yeah,
So
you do.
You know,
You will. You're like me. You're like, I'm just watching the clip. I'm just going to see the clips.
yeah, I just was on a whole different journey yesterday. You know what I mean?
It was a different world. I totally get it.
Mhm.
I totally get it. All right, you guys. We'll talk to you next week when there is no big sporting event.
We love you.
We love you. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
Oh no.